Hello friends, welcome back to Agriculture Insight. Have you ever wondered how nearly 100 million tons of peanuts harvested each year are transformed into over 3 million tons of rich, creamy peanut butter loved around the world? With nearly twice the protein content of almond butter, peanut butter has earned its title as the nutritional superhero of breakfast tables. The journey of each golden jar begins on sun-drenched fields, where peanuts are carefully harvested and swiftly transported to high-tech processing plants. There, under the skilled hands of workers and the precision of cutting-edge machinery, these humble little peanuts are roasted to perfection, finely ground, seasoned, and transformed into smooth, golden jars of peanut butter. Rich, creamy, and utterly irresistible. Today, we're taking you on an exciting adventure into the world of peanut butter, uncovering what makes it the true brown gold of the food industry. China is currently the world's leading producer of peanuts, with over 19 million tons harvested annually. But when it comes to peanut butter, the crown goes to the United States. Every year, more than 1.5 billion jars of peanut butter are produced in the US, accounting for nearly 40% of global output. In America, peanut butter isn't just food, it's a national breakfast icon. With industry giants like Jif and Skippy, the US peanut butter market never goes out of style. Jif wins hearts with its velvety, smooth texture and rich, slightly sweet flavor that's downright addictive. Skippy, Jif's lifelong rival, boasts a massive base of loyal fans thanks to its bold taste and signature crunchy varieties that are impossible to mistake. And which peanut butter brand are you a big fan of? As for me, I'll always choose Teddy. It's been a part of my childhood ever since my school days, and every bite brings back sweet memories. Each year, the peanut butter industry generates over $5.7 billion for the global economy. It's more than a food product. It's a multi-billion-dollar game of flavor, branding, and nostalgia. From a tiny seed to clusters of golden peanuts hidden beneath the soil, the peanut plant requires 120 to 150 days of careful tending. Around September each year, in the state of Georgia, proudly known as the peanut capital of the world, vast peanut fields awaken from their summer slumber and enter the most vibrant and bustling harvest season of the year. The harvest begins with the arrival of digger-shaker machines, mechanical giants equipped with ultra-sharp blades that plunge swiftly into the ground. These machines gently shake the plants loose from the soil and flip them over, exposing the roots so that the golden peanuts can bask under the sun for natural drying. Working at an impressive pace, each digger-shaker can handle 10 to 15 hectares of peanuts per hour. After being flipped, the peanuts are left to sun-dry in the field for 3 to 5 days, depending on weather and humidity, to reach the ideal moisture level before collection. Next, combined peanut harvesters take over. Using rotating fans and soft vibrations, they separate the peanuts from the plants without cracking or damaging the shells. The stems and leaves are left behind in the field, not as waste, but as organic mulch to nourish the soil for the next planting season. And the peanuts? They roll along conveyor belts into massive hoppers that can hold up to 10 tons per load. Once full, the peanuts are transported to collection points near the fields. Each truck can carry up to 30 tons per trip, delivering the harvest to processing plants or climate-controlled storage facilities where temperature and humidity are closely monitored. Here, Each batch of peanuts is tested for moisture content using specialized sensor systems. If the moisture level exceeds 10%, the peanuts are sent into state-of-the-art drying chambers, where they are gently heated at a stable temperature of 35 to 40 degrees Celsius for 24 to 48 hours, just enough to dry them evenly without losing their natural flavor. Once dried, they are stored in climate-controlled warehouses, with the environment maintained at 10 to 15 degrees Celsius and humidity kept below 65%. Under these ideal conditions, the peanuts can be safely preserved for 3 to 6 months without any loss of quality. When ready, the peanuts are loaded onto large transport trucks with a capacity of 20 to 25 tons, ready to head to the main processing plant. Ever wondered what happens next once the peanuts arrive at the processing plant? The answer might just surprise you. The moment they set foot inside, the peanuts are fed into a high-speed vibrating sieve system, operating at 300 to 500 vibrations per minute. Thanks to this continuous shaking motion, dust, broken shells, and impurities are effectively removed, leaving behind clean, whole peanuts ready for their transformation. Next, they move along an automated conveyor belt to the shelling machine, where the outer shells are stripped away using steady air pressure of about 5 to 8 bar. Though the shells may seem tough and stubborn, they are removed in a matter of seconds with surprising precision. A powerful suction fan then immediately pulls away the discarded shells, leaving behind intact peanut kernels, perfectly rounded and ready for the next stage of sorting. Think selecting the finest peanuts is all up to machines? Not quite. This is where cutting-edge technology and human expertise join forces to create a surprisingly meticulous process. First, the peanuts pass through a state-of-the-art optical sorter, equipped with high-speed sensors and cameras capable of scanning up to 5,000 kernels per minute. A smart air-jet system instantly blows away any peanuts that are cracked, insect-damaged, or substandard, keeping only the best of the batch. But that's just the machine's part. Next comes the sharp eyes and steady hands of experienced workers who inspect every peanut with precision. Using their trained instincts and swift fingers, they remove any shriveled or broken kernels, ensuring that only peanuts meeting the highest standards of size, color, and integrity move on to the next stage. After passing every strict quality check, the peanuts are finally ready for their last resting phase before being transformed into creamy, aromatic peanut butter. They are packed into large 50-kilogram sacks and moved into the factory's storage facility. Here, the peanuts are kept under stable conditions for about 2 weeks, allowing them to rest, balance their moisture levels, and preserve their natural flavor. It may seem like a small step, but this short pause is essential to ensure each future batch of peanut butter meets the highest standards of taste and quality. After their resting period in cold storage, the finest peanuts embark on an entirely new chapter of their journey. Now, let's follow the process step by step to discover how these humble little peanuts are turned into a beloved spread enjoyed by millions around the world. Every great journey begins with purity, and for peanuts, it all starts with a thorough wash. Once removed from their sacks, the peanuts are fed into rotating drum washers equipped with high-pressure spray nozzles. There, powerful streams of water blast away dirt, dust, and any lingering impurities. Clean and spotless, the peanuts are then moved into massive industrial roasters, where they're evenly roasted at temperatures between 160 to 177 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 minutes. This step not only dries them completely, but also unlocks their natural aroma, intensifies that rich, nutty flavor, and forms a light, crispy outer layer, the secret behind the irresistible depth of every spoonful of peanut butter. After emerging fragrant from the roaster, the peanuts enter one of the most delicate stages of their transformation, the removal of the papery skins. They are fed into a modern deskinning machine that uses high-pressure air jets, 6 to 8 bar, combined with finely grooved rollers. As the peanuts pass through, the strong airstream blows away the thin outer skins, while the rollers gently massage the peanuts to loosen the shells without damaging the kernels. Next, the peanuts glide onto a vibrating conveyor, where a high-powered suction system removes any remaining skin fragments. What's left are clean, glossy peanut kernels, nearly perfect in appearance. But the process doesn't stop there. Before moving on to grinding, the peanuts go through one final round of optical sorting. High-speed cameras and image sensors scan 5,000 to 7,000 peanuts per minute, and any substandard kernel is instantly removed with a blast of air. Only the finest peanuts make it to the last step. Now everything is ready. The spotless, high-quality peanuts, having passed through rigorous screening, are officially entering their magical transformation stage, becoming smooth, creamy peanut butter. The peanuts are fed into high-capacity rotary grinders, where steel shafts rotate at incredibly high speeds, up to 3,000 RPM, generating intense friction to break down each peanut into a rich golden-colored paste. This critical step releases the nut's full aroma, natural oil content, and creamy texture. At this point, each factory adds its signature flavor formula, perhaps a pinch of salt to balance the taste, a bit of sugar to soften the finish, or vegetable oil to enhance the smoothness. All ingredients are precisely measured per batch using automated electronic weighing systems to ensure consistent quality and flavor. Once blended, the mixture enters industrial cooking kettles and is heated to a stable temperature between 71 to 82 degrees Celsius. This range is hot enough to eliminate harmful bacteria, yet gentle enough to preserve the peanut's natural flavor and achieve the perfect consistency. The heating process typically lasts 5 to 10 minutes and is closely monitored with thermal sensors. When the mixture reaches peak creaminess, aroma, and thickness, the hot peanut butter is pumped through insulated pipelines into holding tanks, ready for the final step: automatic packaging and distribution to consumers around the globe. And finally, the hot peanut butter is transferred to the automated packaging area. Here, a modern filling system pours the butter into glass or plastic jars, typically ranging from 250 grams to 1 kilogram in size. The jars are then tightly sealed and rapidly cooled to preserve their full flavor. Next comes labeling, final quality checks, and packing into boxes, ready to be shipped to consumers around the world. The entire packaging process takes place in a sterile environment, strictly adhering to food safety standards. As a result, every jar of peanut butter that reaches consumers is guaranteed to be fresh, safe, and consistently high in quality, ready to win over even the most demanding markets. We've just explored the journey behind creating rich, creamy peanut butter. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. And now get ready to dive into a brand new adventure, one that's just as exciting and full of surprises. Hazelnut trees typically start bearing fruit about 3 to 5 years after planting. Harvest season occurs in the fall when the nuts are ready. A key indicator of ripeness is when the outer husks change from green to golden brown and the nuts begin naturally falling from the branches, especially after a light breeze. Ripe hazelnuts naturally drop to the ground, where specialized machines quickly and efficiently gather them, ensuring the nuts remain fresh and of high quality. This streamlined process sets the stage for transforming hazelnuts into delightful treats like Nutella. Hazelnuts often ripen and fall naturally to the ground, so row sweepers take over, moving methodically through the orchards to gather the fallen hazelnuts into neat rows on the ground. These machines are equipped with rotating brushes or soft paddles close to the soil surface, working seamlessly to sweep the nuts while protecting the ground and nearby trees. During operation, the sweepers use a gentle air-blowing system to remove dust and dry leaves from the hazelnuts, leaving clean and tidy rows ready for the next stage. This ensures that the nuts are easy to collect while maintaining their quality. Finally, specialized nut harvesters get to work, using powerful vacuum systems or rotating brushes to collect the hazelnuts from the neatly swept rows. The nuts are then transported via a conveyor system for preliminary sorting, where lightweight debris like dry leaves or twigs is removed by controlled air jets. The cleaned nuts are funneled into storage bins at the back of the harvester, ready to be unloaded into transport trucks. This streamlined process not only ensures the nuts are collected efficiently, but also preserves their freshness and quality for further processing. The specialized nut harvesters used in hazelnut farming are advanced machines with a price range typically between $50,000 and $100,000, depending on their size and features. Finally, they are loaded onto trucks for transportation to the processing facility. Hazelnuts arrive at the processing facility and are emptied onto receiving conveyors. Here, they undergo preliminary cleaning using air blowers or screening systems to remove soil, stones, and larger debris like leaves and small branches. The cleaned hazelnuts are transferred to specialized drying chambers designed to remove excess moisture, extending their shelf life. The process uses carefully controlled warm air to ensure the nut's quality and flavor remain intact. Dried hazelnuts are then passed through shelling machines, where the tough outer shells are removed without damaging the kernels inside. These machines typically employ pressure rollers or precision cutting systems to achieve efficient and damage-free shelling. The hazelnuts are fed into a vibrating screen system, which is designed to efficiently separate kernels from shells and other debris. The vibrating motion ensures that smaller particles fall through precisely sized mesh screens, while the intact kernels are guided to the next stage of processing. This system not only increases efficiency, but also maintains the quality of the hazelnuts by minimizing mechanical damage. Once shelled, the hazelnut kernels are cleaned again and moved to a manual sorting station. Here, workers meticulously inspect each kernel along conveyor belts, using their expertise to identify and remove broken pieces, defective kernels, or any that fail to meet quality standards. This hands-on approach ensures that only the finest hazelnut kernels are selected for the next steps in processing. This thorough and detailed post-harvest process guarantees that the hazelnuts are of the highest quality before they are used in making products like Nutella. For hazelnuts that are eaten directly, they are packed into packages. The cleaned and graded hazelnuts are fed into automated weighing systems, which measure exact portions based on the desired package weight. These portions are then funneled into pre-made packaging materials, often designed for airtight sealing to preserve the nut's freshness and flavor. The sealed bags are printed with labels detailing weight, origin, and expiration date. In addition, they are also packed in large bags to be shipped directly to the Nutella factory for production. Now that we've explored the role of hazelnuts in Nutella, let's dive into the other ingredients that make this spread so iconic. Sugar makes up 55% of Nutella's composition and is sourced from sugar beets. Before reaching the factory, sugar beets are harvested using advanced, specialized machinery. These machines allow for quick and efficient harvesting while ensuring the quality of the produce. As the harvest season begins, the vast sugar beet fields are bustling with specialized machinery tasked with the job. These harvesters are specifically designed for precise and optimal extraction of sugar beets. The harvesting process begins as the machine enters the field where the sugar beets have matured. Sugar beet harvesters typically feature a sharp, controlled cutting system that digs deep into the soil to separate the beet roots from the ground. This digging component can cut and lift the beets without breaking them or harming the soil. Once lifted, the beets are transferred to a conveyor belt that moves them to the cleaning units. After harvesting, the sugar beets are transported to a roadside storage area. The trucks cannot go down into the fields, so they use a special conveyor belt to load the sugar beets onto the trucks. Before reaching the factory, sugar beets are gathered in large storage yards. It's impressive to see the enormous volume of beets, isn't it? Consolidating large quantities of beets in this area not only highlights the scale of production, but also serves a practical purpose. It optimizes the workflow, ensuring that raw materials are continuously and efficiently ready for factory processing. Once all the beets have been consolidated, the remaining tasks are performed at the processing plant. The sugar beets in the consolidation area are moved on a conveyor belt to an automatic washing system. Here, strong water jets directly spray the beets, combined with rotating drums and conveyors, helping to remove dirt, rocks, and other impurities from the surface. Next is the slicing stage, an important step in the processing. Modern slicing machines with sharp blades cut the beets into thin strips, called cassettes. These strips have a greater surface area, facilitating the sugar extraction process. The cassettes are then placed in large extraction tanks, where water heated to about 70 degrees Celsius circulates to dissolve the natural sucrose in the beets. The result is a raw juice with a high sugar content that is collected and moved to the refining stage. This raw juice, while rich in sucrose, still contains impurities. Therefore, it is treated in large filtration tanks by adding lime milk and carbon dioxide. These substances react with the impurities, forming insoluble sediment, which is then removed through high-pressure filtration. The result is a clearer sugar solution, but it still requires further processing to achieve the highest purity. This solution is transferred to an evaporation tower, where excess water is removed, increasing the sugar concentration. Evaporation towers often use vacuum technology to reduce the boiling temperature and protect the quality of the sugar. Once the solution reaches a certain concentration, it is moved to a crystallizer. Here, small seed crystals are added to help the sugar crystallize and grow into the desired crystal size. After crystallization, the sugar crystals are still coated with a layer of molasses, giving them a golden hue. They are placed in a centrifuge, where they are spun at high speeds to separate the molasses from the sugar crystals. The molasses is often used as a raw material for other products, while the sugar crystals proceed to the drying stage. Drying equipment uses hot air to dry the sugar, ensuring each crystal meets standards for moisture content and purity. Once the sugar is dry, it is moved to an automatic packaging system, ready to move to the Nutella factory. Cocoa powder, making up about 7% of Nutella's iconic formula, is the key ingredient that gives it its irresistible chocolate flavor. Earthy notes that make chocolate so captivating. Once fermented, the seeds are spread out under the sun to dry, a step that takes several more days and requires careful monitoring to prevent mold or uneven drying. The dried seeds are then roasted, a process that fills the air with the unmistakable aroma of chocolate. Roasting further enhances the flavor and makes it easier to remove the outer shell, revealing the inner cocoa nibs. The beans are then lightly crushed and passed through a sieving machine to separate the shells from the cocoa nibs, ensuring only high-quality nibs are retained. These nibs are ground into a thick, paste-like substance called chocolate liquor. Chocolate liquor is pressed to separate the rich cocoa butter. What remains after pressing is a solid cake of cocoa, which is finely ground into the silky cocoa powder we know and love. This powder, with its intense chocolate flavor and low-fat content, plays a vital role in Nutella, not just for its taste, but also for its smooth, creamy texture. Palm oil makes up about 20% of Nutella's formula, playing a crucial role in creating its signature smooth texture and impressive shelf life. The journey of palm oil begins with the careful harvesting of ripe, vibrant red palm fruits from oil palm trees, which are primarily grown in tropical regions with climates ideal for their growth. After harvesting, the palm fruits are transported by truck to the processing plant, where they are prepared for oil extraction. The fruits are then steamed in large sterilizers to soften the flesh, making the oil extraction process more efficient. The softened fruits are pressed using mechanical presses to extract crude palm oil, a thick, reddish-orange liquid rich in natural nutrients. The red liquid is filtered to remove any solid particles, ensuring a smooth and clean texture. Next, the oil undergoes heat treatments to neutralize its strong flavor and eliminate any residual odors. The final product is pure, stable palm oil, perfectly suited for Nutella's creamy consistency and long-lasting quality. Skim milk powder makes up about 5% of Nutella, adding a smooth creaminess to the product. After the cow's milk is harvested, they are then transported to the factory to be made into powdered milk. The milk is skimmed using a centrifuge to remove the cream, leaving behind the lean milk. The skimmed milk is then pasteurized and sent to a spray drying chamber, where it is sprayed into fine droplets in a stream of hot air. This process evaporates the water, leaving behind dry milk powder. The powder is cooled and carefully packaged, ready to be used in Nutella. Once all the ingredients are prepared, they are sent to the mixing area to begin the magical process of making Nutella. The hazelnuts are first put into a mill and will yield finely ground hazelnut paste. The journey starts with a blend of hazelnut paste and cocoa powder loaded into industrial mixers. These powerful machines mix the ingredients vigorously to achieve a smooth, uniform base. Next, sugar and skimmed milk powder are added gradually, with the mixers running continuously to ensure perfect integration. Palm oil is then introduced, giving Nutella its signature soft and spreadable texture. Finally, natural flavors are added at the last stage, completing Nutella's irresistible flavor profile. The blended mixture is passed through filters to remove any particles or impurities. This ensures Nutella achieves its silky smooth consistency without any lumps or residues. The final product is transferred to fully automated filling machines, where precision nozzles dispense the perfect amount of Nutella into glass or plastic jars. The jars then move to sealing machines that securely fasten the lids, preventing air from entering and maintaining freshness and flavor. Once sealed, the jars are labeled by automated systems, ensuring each label is perfectly aligned. The journey of the cherries begins long before harvest. It takes about 4 to 5 years for a cherry tree to mature and start bearing fruit. When spring arrives, the pure white cherry blossoms bloom, pollinated by the wind and bees, signaling a hopeful harvest. Throughout the summer, the cherries grow larger, ripen, and are ready for harvest. But how are millions of cherries harvested and delivered to consumers? The answer is coming up next. On large cherry farms, especially in flat areas, modern machinery is the top choice for fast, high-yield harvesting. It's the perfect solution for handling a large number of cherry trees in a short amount of time. First, the tree shaker is a powerful yet delicate tool. This machine is attached to the trunk or branches of the cherry tree, creating vibrations that are carefully adjusted to only shake off the ripe cherries without harming the tree. Under each tree, farmers lay out large, soft nets to catch the falling cherries. Afterward, the cherries are automatically transferred onto a conveyor belt, where they're quickly moved into storage bins. This process not only speeds up harvesting, but also reduces the need for manual labor. Next, there's the harvester that moves through the rows of trees, a special piece of equipment for large cherry farms. The machine is equipped with soft brushes or vibrating bars on both sides, gentle enough not to damage the trees, but strong enough to shake off the ripe cherries. As the machine moves down each row, the cherries fall onto an integrated conveyor belt inside the machine. They are then moved along the conveyor and into storage bins at the back of the attached trailer. Although machinery offers excellent efficiency, it's not always the only solution. In smaller cherry orchards, or for high-quality cherry varieties, traditional hand harvesting still plays an important role. Unlike the powerful machines, hand-picking cherries offers a level of care and precision that's hard to replace. Each cherry is carefully checked right in the orchard to ensure it meets quality standards. The cherries are then placed into soft baskets or containers worn on the harvester's chest, keeping them fresh and preventing them from being bruised. When the baskets are full, the cherries are transferred to small trucks to be taken to the collection area. While hand harvesting ensures top-quality cherries, it requires a lot of time and labor. This method is often used in cherry orchards on hilly terrain, where machines can't reach, or when the highest quality cherries are needed for premium markets. After being harvested, cherries are transported to the processing facility, where they go through a careful series of steps to preserve their freshness and maintain the highest quality. When the cherries arrive at the facility, the first step is cleaning to remove dirt, leaves, and any debris left over from harvesting. The cherries are placed in a high-pressure washing machine, where strong water jets gently but effectively clean each cherry. An integrated conveyor system ensures the cherries are handled continuously and evenly without damaging their delicate skin. After the initial sorting, the cherries are moved to the optical sorting machine, a modern and highly accurate step. This machine uses laser technology and image sensors to examine each cherry, evaluating them based on color, size, and shape. Cherries that meet the standards continue along the conveyor belt, while those that don't pass the requirements are removed and processed for other purposes, such as making jam or juice. Some cherries are packaged in plastic containers to cater to consumer preferences. This process is fully automated, using advanced machinery capable of packing around 2,000 to 3,000 boxes of cherries per hour. After packaging, the containers are labeled with detailed product information and placed into larger cardboard cartons to simplify transportation. These cartons are then neatly organized in cold storage to maintain freshness before being shipped worldwide to meet the needs of consumers everywhere. Some of the cherries are sent to processing lines to create cherry jam, a popular and beloved product. Whole cherries are placed in specialized washing machines for a final cleaning to ensure all dirt and impurities are completely removed. Afterward, the cherries pass through an automatic pitting machine, where each cherry is handled gently to preserve the flesh without crushing it. The pits are completely removed and sent to a separate area for recycling or further processing. The cherries are then placed into industrial cooking pots, where they are cooked down at a temperature of about 80 to 100 degrees Celsius, combined with sugar to create a natural sweetness and thickness. A stirring system continuously rotates to ensure the mixture is evenly blended, prevents burning, and achieves the perfect smooth and thick consistency. The jam is packed using a fully automated system. Hot jam is precisely poured into glass jars through automated filling nozzles, and the lids are tightly sealed to prevent air from entering. The jars are sterilized for hygiene, quickly cooled with a water spray system. This efficient process allows the factory to handle up to 10,000 jars per hour, meeting large-scale production needs. After packaging, the jars of cherry jam are labeled with all the necessary information, including the origin, ingredients, and expiration date. These jars are then moved to the storage area before being distributed to supermarkets or exported. The process of making cherry jam not only ensures that the unique, fresh flavor of cherries is preserved, but also creates a high-quality product that meets the diverse needs of consumers. Did you know cherries make a big impact on the U.S. economy? Each year, the cherry industry contributes over $900 million through exports and related products. The U.S. is a top cherry producer, with Washington, California, and Oregon leading the way. In spring, American farmers start preparing the soil by plowing and loosening it, making sure it's well aerated and rich in nutrients. They also add organic fertilizer and check the soil's pH levels to ensure it meets the best standards for cherry trees. Once the soil is thoroughly prepared, they plant cherry saplings that have been carefully selected and grafted from the best varieties to ensure high-quality fruit and resistance to diseases. Throughout its growth, the cherry tree is consistently supplied with water through a modern and efficient automatic irrigation system. After 3 to 5 years, the cherry trees start to bloom, marking their first harvest season. At this stage, farmers carefully prune the branches to allow better airflow, ensuring the cherries grow in the best possible conditions. But before we dive into the magical factories, let me reveal some fascinating secrets about these golden beans and let you enjoy the picturesque harvest on the vast soybean fields. First, while Brazil, often dubbed the soybean king, accounts for 39% of global production, but across the ocean, the US proudly claims its soybeans are premium grade. Will Brazil's massive production be enough to outshine the US forever, or will superior quality rise to the top and stage an impressive comeback? Don't hesitate to drop a comment below and share your thoughts with everyone. Soybeans particularly love warm weather, thriving in temperatures between 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, with just the right amount of rainfall throughout the growing season and fertile, nutrient-rich soil. A typical soybean plant, from a tiny seed to a fully grown pod-filled plant, needs at least 80 to 120 days to complete its growth cycle, depending on the variety and environmental conditions. Every September, as the cool autumn winds begin to whisper and the golden hues start to dominate the landscape, it's also the signal for farmers that the harvest season has arrived. Under the brilliant golden sunlight, the combine harvesters appear as sophisticated machines of modern agriculture, ready to carry out their harvesting task. With their large size and sharp cutting blades, these machines move gently yet decisively through the soybean fields, causing rows of plants to bow down. The soybeans are immediately fed into the machine, where the threshing system works with precise accuracy. Specialized parts of the machine work in perfect harmony, separating the beans from their pods without compromising their quality, preserving the color and value of every single bean. With impressive capacity, each combine harvester can harvest over 45 tons of soybeans in just 1 hour. When the hopper is full, the machine's arm extends, automatically unloading the golden beans into a waiting truck. Once the work is done, the harvested soybeans are transported to modern factories, where technology takes over the next phase of processing, turning fresh raw materials into refined, valuable products. Specialized trucks enter the factory, and immediately, bins full of golden beans pour into the feeding mouth on the ground. An underground system is ready to cleanse the beans before they are stored. The beans continue their journey on a conveyor belt into the screening system. Large fans blow strong air currents, blowing away dirt and light impurities like dry husks and leaves, which are then directed to the waste outlet above. Meanwhile, heavier impurities like stones and dirt that can't be blown away are separated using a centrifugal filtration system with different mesh layers, allowing only the standard soybeans to continue their journey. After being cleaned, the soybeans move to an automatic drying system. Here, alternating hot and cold airflow passes through, allowing moisture inside the beans to evaporate without affecting the nutritional quality or structure of the beans. Finally, the highest quality beans are poured into towering silos that reach up to several dozen meters in height, with a maximum capacity of up to 50,000 tons, preparing them for the next stages of processing. First, let me take you on a tour around the tofu factory to explore how these meat-free blocks are created. The production process begins with the preparation of raw materials. Dried soybeans are fed into an automatic washing system and then soaked in large water tanks for 6 to 12 hours. This soaking process helps the beans absorb water and soften, making it easier for the next grinding step. Once the beans have reached optimal moisture content, they are fed into a grinding system. Here, the beans are ground with a certain amount of water to create a mixture of soy milk and soybean pulp. Depending on the technology used, factories may apply a dry grinding method, which requires longer soaking times, or a wet grinding method, which requires shorter soaking times. The mixture after grinding is passed through a centrifugal filtration system to separate the soybean pulp from the pure soy milk. The soy milk continues to the next processing stage, while the pulp is sent to a separate area to be used as animal feed or made into other products such as cereal or fiber-rich foods. After being properly filtered, the soy milk is pumped into an automatic heating system, where the temperature is strictly controlled between 95 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. This boiling process not only helps eliminate bacteria and remove natural toxins in the soybeans, but also brings out the distinctive flavor of tofu. Once it reaches the required temperature, the soy milk is immediately transferred to a coagulation tank to begin the curdling process and form the tofu structure. The hot soy milk is transferred to a large container where coagulating agents like nigari salt or food-grade gypsum are added. The mixing machine stirs the solution to trigger the curdling of the protein, forming solidified clumps. For soft tofu products, the coagulation stirring process doesn't take place. Instead, the soy milk is sprayed into long bags or square boxes, then sealed and immediately placed in a cold water bath to cool. This process helps preserve the softness and loose texture of the soft tofu, while also ensuring the product stays fresh longer. After the coagulation process is complete, the curdled mixture is placed into molds to remove excess water. Here, the press applies just the right amount of pressure to compact the curds, giving the tofu a firmer texture. After being pressed, the tofu is cooled to reach the ideal temperature, which helps the product achieve better firmness and stability. During the cooling process, the tofu is passed through a cooling system, either using cold water or air. Afterward, the tofu is cut into pieces using automatic cutting blades that are gentle yet precise. Next, the tofu is immediately placed into packaging boxes through an entirely automated production line. Before sealing, a little clean water is sprayed inside the box to maintain moisture, preventing the tofu from drying out and keeping it fresh for a longer time. After packaging, the tofu products go through a sterilization process. Sterilization is carried out using heat treatment, where the tofu packages are heated to temperatures between 85 degrees Celsius and 90 degrees Celsius for a set period, then quickly cooled. Finally, after completing the production process, the tofu is stored in a warehouse at temperatures between 4 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius before being distributed to the market. For soy milk, the preparation process is similar to that of tofu production. However, during the cooking stage, flavorings such as salt and sweeteners are added and thoroughly mixed with the soy milk to ensure a consistent and stable flavor. Once the soy milk has completed the processing steps, it is transferred to automated packaging systems, where it is bottled or packed into paper cartons. For bottled soy milk products, which typically have a longer shelf life than carton-packaged ones, the empty bottles are first carefully checked using a laser scanner and washed with clean water before being filled. The modern filing system uses sensor technology to accurately measure the amount of soy milk to be poured into each bottle. After filling, the bottles are sealed and proceed to the final sterilization stage. Once the sterilization process is complete, the bottles continue on a conveyor belt, passing through a system of water sprays and air blowers to quickly cool them down before being labeled by an entirely automated system. If soy milk is packaged in a carton, it will look like this. At this point, the soy milk bottles are ready to be distributed to consumers. However, the journey of the soybeans doesn't stop here. The beans continue their transformation into golden, nutrient-rich soybean oil. From the storage silos, soybeans are sent through a screening system, where gentle vibrations help remove impurities and evenly sort the beans. The beans are then dried to reduce moisture to around 8% to ensure quality. Next, they are fed into a dehulling machine, where the soybeans are compressed between two pairs of rollers. This process cracks the soybean hulls and splits the beans into smaller parts. The mixture of soybeans and hulls is then transferred to an air separation system. After dehulling, the soybeans are fed into a screw press machine. Inside the press, the soybeans are moved forward by a screw conveyor inside the pressing tube. The final product is full-fat soy meal. After being processed in the screw press, the soybean meal is transferred to a mechanical oil press. In this press, the product continues to move along the press cage, where it is compressed under pressure. The oil is extracted through the slits in the cage and collected in a container below. At the same time, the remaining oil cake, with an oil content of about 7 to 8% and a temperature range of 120 to 130 degrees Celsius, is produced. The oil cake, which contains a high level of fiber and protein, is widely used in the production of animal feed for livestock and poultry. It helps promote animal growth and improves the quality of meat, milk, and eggs. Thanks to its rich nutritional value, the oil cake becomes an essential component of the diet for many animals, contributing to optimized farming efficiency. After filtering and refining, the oil is sent for quality inspection. Here, quality indicators such as clarity, smell, acidity, and chemical composition are thoroughly checked to ensure the oil meets safety and quality standards before packaging. Compared to other oils like sunflower and olive oil, soybean oil stands out for its low cost and high smoke point, but its higher omega-6 content could lead to nutritional imbalances if consumed excessively. It is transferred to an automated packaging system. The oil is poured into bottles, cans, or flexible packaging according to the required volume. And from here, soybean oil makes its way into kitchens around the world, becoming an essential ingredient in creating delicious and nutritious dishes. From crispy fried foods to fresh, vibrant salads, soybean oil adds a distinct flavor and helps make every meal more satisfying.